Hello, welcome to my channel. Today in metrology and measurement, we are going to discuss about the continuation video on digital measurement. Today we will be discussing about the strain gauge, that means the gauge which is used for measuring or measurement of strains. Okay, so now you know that in our previous video we have already discussed about the variable inductance transducer which may be classified as self-generating type or passive type. Then we have discussed deeply about LVDT, which is linear variable differential transducer, and which is a very common type of electromechanical transducer which actually converts the rectilinear motion of an object which is coupled mechanically into a corresponding electrical signal. Now you know that LVDT actually shows the value of the rectilinear motion by the output voltage, which is a linear function to the core displacement. Okay, now in this so in that video we have discussed about the linear motion, that means measurement of motion, linear motion by using a digital measuring instrument, that is one type of transducer. Now in this video we are going to discuss about how we can measure the strain. So for that thing we need a one special type of digital measuring instrument which is actually known as strain gauge. Now in case of a strain gauge, if you say that strain gauge is nothing but a resistor which is used to measure strain on an object. Okay, so it is also a sensor whose resistance varies with the applied force. When an external force is applied on an object, due to which there is a deformation occurs in the shape of the object. Now this deformation is the shape this deformation in that shape is both compressive or tensile, which is actually known as strain, and it is measured by this strain gauge. Now when an object deforms within the limit of elasticity, either it becomes narrower and longer, or it becomes shorter or broader. Okay, as a result of it, there is a change in resistance at end to end. Now when a metal conductor is stretched or compressed, its resistance change on account of the fact that both length and diameter of the conductor change. Now this value of resistivity of the conductor also change with respect to that. Now this this change is actually a property that means strain. It is a property of strain which is actually known as piezoresistance. Okay, therefore this resistance strain gauge is also actually known as piezoresistive strain gauge. Now this strain gauge is a measurement transducer for measuring actually strain and associated stress is experimental, and it is also associated with this experimental stress analysis. Now many other detectors and transducer, basically load cells, torque meter, then diaphragm type of pressure gauge, then temperature sensor, accelerometer, flow meter, they employ a strain gauge as a secondary transducer for their working principle. Now in case of a strain gauge, the change in the resistance normally has a very small value, and to sense that small change, strain gauge has a long thin metallic strip arranged in a zigzag pattern on a non-conducting material called the carrier, so that it can enlarge a small amount of stress in the group of parallel lines, and it could be measured with high accuracy. The gauge is literally glued into the device by an adhesive. When an object shows physical deformation, its electrical resistance gets changed, and that change is then measured by this gauge. Now if I consider about different type of strain gauge, there are basically four type of strain gauge are available: wire wound strain gauge, foil type strain gauge, semiconductor strain gauge, and capacitive strain gauge. Now we will discuss on the details about all of these type of strain gauge. Now in case of wire wound strain gauge, now if we discuss about wire wound strain gauge, when we are discussing on wire wound strain gauge, these are basically two types of wire wound strain gauge are available. Now these are basically electrical resistance type of strain gauge, which consist of a thin wire placed on a flexible paper tissue, and it is attached to a variety of materials to be measured the strain of the material. Okay, now in case of wear wound strain gauge, basically you see that there are two type of wear wound strain gauge available. One is bonded strain gauge, another is unbounded strain gauge. Okay, now in case of a bounded strain gauge, you know that you can see the right hand side figure, which actually shows you what is the basic purpose, or what is the basic figure for a bounded wound strain gauge. Okay, now in case of a bounded wound strain gauge, it is actually composed of a fine wire wound and cemented on a resilient insulating support, usually a wafer unit. Such unit may be mounted upon or incorporated in mechanical elements or structures whose deformation under stress are to be determined. While there are no limits on the basic value which may be selected for this strain gauge resistance, a typical example you can take of the order of 100 to 500 ohm. Okay, now this bonded strain gauge, it is consists of a strain sensitive conductor mounted on a small piece of paper or plastic backing. Basically, this type of wire grid may be flat or wrap around, and in the flat, after attaching the lead wire to the ends of the grid, a second piece of paper is again cemented on the wire as a cover. Formerly, only wrap around gauges were available, but generally the flat grid gauges are preferred, as they are superior to wrap around gauge in terms of free stresses, creep, elevator temperature, and performance, stability, and current carrying capacity. Now for the wear wound strain gauge, next what we are going to discuss, that is the unbonded strain gauge. Now in case of an unbonded strain gauge, here you can see the right hand side figure, it shows an unbonded strain gauge. Now here we can see that pickup and measuring networks, they are actually energized from the similar but isolated source. Unbalance originating in pickup is detected and balanced by servo actuated measuring network, which actually provides a reading of strain on a graduated state. Okay, basic principle of this unbounded metallic strain gauge is based on the change in electrical resistance of a metallic wire due to the change in tension of the wire. Now here a stationary frame and a moving platform is associated. Fine wire loops are wounded around the insulated pins with pretension. Okay, then relative motion between the platform and the frame increases the tension in two loops while decreasing the tension in other two loops. These four elements are connected approximately to a 4-arm Wheatstone bridge. Now these wire, which comprise the 4 arms of a Wheatstone bridge network, have two opposite arms which are tightened and other two slackened by the displacement. While a bonded gauge tends to respond the average strain in the surface to which it is cemented, the unbounded form of measured displacement between the 2 points to which respective supports are attached. And these unbounded wire strain gauge, they are usually operated on input potential ranging up to 35 volt direct or alternating current. Under conditions of extreme balance corresponding of full operating range, the open circuit EMF may be in order to 8 to 10 millivolt, and the closed circuit current up to 100 milliampere. Strain gauge basically used on AC circuits which are supplied in both capacitive and inductive forms, wherein corresponding characteristics of AC circuit components are varied by the displacement to be measured. In case of characteristics of resistance wire strain gauge, the resistance wire strain gauge should have some basic characteristics which actually has a high value of gauge factor, which the gauge factor I will be discussing later. Then the resistance of the strain gauge should be as high as possible. Then strain gauge should have a low resistance temperature coefficient. So these are the basic important characteristics for any kind of unbounded wire strain gauge. Now the next type of strain gauge what we are going to discuss, that is foil strain gauge. Now basically this foil type of strain gauge has a foil grid made up of thin sensitive strain resistive sensitive foil. The width of the foil is very large as compared to the thickness, so that the larger area of the gauge is for cementing. Now this gauge, in this type of gauge, the strain is sensed with the help of a metal foil. Foil gauge have a much greater dissipation capacity as compared with the wear wound gauge on account of their greater surface area for the same volume. Due to this reason, they can be employed for higher operating temperature range. In this gauge, the bonding is better due to large surface area of the foil, and the bonded foil gauge find a wider field of action. In case of the characteristics, we can say that the characteristics of this foil type of strain gauge are very similar to those of the wear wound strain gauge, and their gauge factors are typically the same as that of the wear wound strain gauge. The resistance value of the foil gauge, which are commercially available, is between 52,000 ohm. Okay. The advantage of foil type strain gauge is that they can be fabricated economically on a mass scale. Next one, what we are going to discuss, that is the semiconductor or piezo-resistive strain gauge. Now, in case of a semiconductor piezo-resistive strain gauge, the sensing element is a rectangular filament made as a wafer form of silicon or germanium crystals. Now, this semiconductor strain gauge depends for their action upon piezo-resistive effect. That means the change in value of the resistance due to the change in resistivity. These gauges are used where a very high gauge factor and small envelope are required. For semiconductor strain gauge, semiconducting materials such as silicon, germanium, they are basically used. A typical strain gauge consists of a strain sensitive crystal material and leads that are sandwiched in a protective matrix. Okay, the production of this gauge employs a conventional semiconductor technology using the semiconductor wafers or filaments which have a thickness of 0.05 mm and bonding them on suitable insulating substance such as Teflon. Okay, then gold and lead are generally applied for making the contacts. Main advantage of this type of semiconductor strain gauge are, first of all, this gauge have a high gauge factor. Then excellent hysteresis characteristics is a very important thing for this type of semiconductor strain gauge. Then its fatigue life is in excess of around 10 to the power 10 into 10 to the power 5 operations, and frequency response is up to 10 to the power 12 Hz. This gauge can also be very small, ranging length from 0.7 to 7 mm. Okay, they are very useful for measurement of local strains, but there are some also they have some disadvantage, and the major and serious disadvantage is that these gauges are very sensitive and this gauge can change in temperature, and linearity of this gauge is very poor. Okay, that's why we are going to move forward to the another type of strain gauge, which is known as capacitive strain gauge. Now this you can see in the bottom side figure, which actually shows the capacitive strain gauge, which actually use the principle of variation of capacitance with the variation of distance between the electrodes. These electrodes are flexible metal strips about 0.1 mm thickness. The strain to be measured is applied to the top plate, and this change in the distance between the curved electrodes resulting in the change in capacitance. The strain capacitance relationship in general is not linear, but variation in dimension and shape allow the gauge characteristics to be chosen so as to match the resistance capacitance to be measured with a good degree of accuracy. A capacitive strain gauge has a capacitance about 0.5 pf. Its overall size is around 5 mm into 17 millimeter, and the thickness is maximum 1 mm. Now, there are different type and configuration of capacitive load cell technologies available, and the capacitance is directly proportional to the cross-sectional area for this capacitive strain gauge. Now, capacitance, in case of this capacitive strain gauge, it uses a polyamide film for insulating material, which can be used up to temperature of 300 degrees centigrade. Now we are going to discuss about the gauge factor, which is a very important thing. Now when a strain gauge is subjected to a tension its length increases while its cross-sectional area decreases. Since the resistance of a conductor is proportional to its length and inversely proportional to its area of cross-section, the resistance of the strain gauge increases with the positive strain. The change in the value of resistance of strained conductor is more than what can be accounted for an increase in resistance due to the dimensional change. The extra change in the value of resistance is attributed to a change in the value of resistivity of a conductor when strained. This property is actually known as piezoresistive effect. Strain gauges are most commonly used in the Wheatstone bridge circuit to measure the change of resistance of grid of wire for calibration processes. Now this gauge factor is defined as the ratio of per unit change in resistance to the per unit change in length. So you can say the G gauge factor or G suffix F, it can be stated at del R by R divided by del L by L, where del R is the corresponding change in resistance and del L is the corresponding change in per unit length. Now this resistance of the strain wire gauge R can be also defined as rho L by A, where rho is the resistivity of the material of the wire and A is the cross sectional area. Okay, so it can be also changed with the Poisson's ratio and the strain, actually the gauge factor, in case of the gauge factor, we can also find out with respect to the Poisson's ratio, which we have showed in this in this formula over here. Okay, so gauge factor can be defined as 1 plus 2 mu plus del rho by E, where this 1 is the resistance change due to the change of length, 2 mu is the resistance change due to the change in area, and del rho by small e, that is the resistance change due to the piezoresistive effect. This small e, this is nothing but the strain, which is actually del L by L. Okay. Now with the basics of this gauge factor, you must know that Poisson ratio for all metals lies between 0 to 0.5, and this gives the G suffix F as 2 approximately. In case of wear wound strain gauge, where the common value for Poisson's ratio is 0.3. Okay, the value of G suffix F, this amount will become 1.6 around. The value of this gauge factor varies from material to material, but it is generally assumed that it remains constant in the working range of the strain required. Its value is determined experimentally. Knowing this gauge factor is the strain in the member, which can be directly found from the change in the resistance. Okay, now we will see how we will solve some numerical problems. So first numerical problem, what we are going to solve, it is saying that the gauge factor of this resistance wire strain gauge using a soft iron wire of diameter 4.2 mm. Now you have to calculate the Poisson's ratio and you have to neglect the piezoelectric effect. So in the first problem, what we know that the GF or wire diameter, that is given as the gauge factor, since the gauge factor for this small wire diameter is given as 4.2. Okay, so whatever I also said were not 4.2 mm, there is some mistake in the question. So the gauge diameter, or gauge factor is small diameter, will be 4.2, that is GF gauge factor, that is 4.2. Okay, gauge factor GF. Now you have to find out what is the Poisson's ratio. So you know when there is the piezoelectric effect is neglected, then the gauge factor, the formula is GF equal to 1 plus 2 mu. Okay, this mu, what we need to find out for Poisson's ratio. So GF, that means 4.2 equal to 1 plus 2 mu, and mu will be 4.2 minus 1 by 2. So there will be 3.2 by 2, there will be 1.6. Okay, so this problem is very much simple and very small. So whatever you have given, you must understand what type of formula you need to use. The main formula what you need to use, that is, you know that formula what I have said earlier, that is GF equal to 1 plus 2 mu plus del rho by E. Okay, we can neglect this term because this is the resistance change due to the piezoresistive effect, and what in the question said that we have to neglect the piezoresistive effect, then the formula will become this, and we are using that formula over here. Okay, so this is the problem and this is the solution, how we are solving this. So you must understand this is the main formula for solving this type of problem regarding gauge factor. Okay. The next problem, which shows the simple electrical strain gauge of the resistance is given, gauge factor is also given, then elastic stress limit, that is given, modulus of elasticity, that is given also. Okay, so based on that we have to find out the resistance, and we have to find out the resistance with two supportive area where the change in stress equal to 1/10 of the elastic range, and change of temperature 20 degree in the material which is advanced alloy, and the resistance temperature coefficient of advanced alloy is also given. Now we will see how this problem is being solved. Now coming to the next problem, problem number 2. Here, what are the given data? Given data are resistance, that is 120, then gauge factor GF, that is 2, elastic limit stress, that is given as 400 mega Newton per mm square, meter square. Okay, then modulus of elasticity is given, that is given, modulus of elasticity given 200 Gn per meter square, which we can say it will become 200 into 10 to the power 12 Newton per meter square. Okay, and resistance temperature coefficient, that is alpha 0, resistance temperature coefficient, that is alpha 0, that is given 20 into 10 to the power minus 6 per degree centigrade. So what we need to find out, that is the change in resistance, and that means we have to find out the change in resistance in two cases. In number one case, where it has been given due to a change in stress equal to 1/10 of the elastic range. So change in stress will be that will be 1/10 into elastic limit stress. Okay, so that is 400. Okay, so it is mn per meter square. So this answer will be 40 into 10 to the power 6 Newton per meter square. Then modulus of elasticity is already given. You know that part. Modulus of elasticity given 200 into 10 to the power 12 Newton per meter square. This is given modulus of elasticity. So strain will be E, that is equal to stress by modulus of elasticity. So stress is 40 into 10 to the power 6 by modulus of elasticity is how much? That is given 200 into 10 to the power 12. So after solution, it will become 1/5 into 10 to the power minus 6. That is becoming strain. Then gauge factor, you know that gauge factor GF, that is del R by E. So you have to find out the del R. Del R equals to R into GF into E. So del R will become 120 resistance R, GF that is 2 into 1 by 5 into 10 to the power minus 6, and that will become 48 into 10 to the power minus 6 ohm, or you can say 48 mu ohm. Okay, now we are going to solve the next part. Now in the next part it has been said that due to the you have to find out the change in resistance due to the change of temperature of 20 degrees centigrade if the material is advanced alloy. The resistance temperature coefficient of advanced alloy is given 20 into 10 to the power minus 6 per degree centigrade. So the formula for this, it will be RT2, that is equal to RT1 bracket 1 plus alpha 0 T2 minus T1. Okay, then change in resistance, that is del R, that will be RT2 minus RT1, that will be equal to RT1 alpha 0 T2 minus T1. Okay, so it will be equal to 120 into 20 into 10 to the power minus 6 by into 20. That is the change T2 minus T1, that is change of temperature is 20 degrees centigrade. So this, after solving this, answer will be again 48 into 10 to the power minus 3, and which will be in form of ohm, and it is again 48 milli ohm. Okay, so in case of this type of formula, or in case of this type of problem, so just use this formula RT2 equal to RT1 into 1 plus alpha 0 T2 minus T1, where you know all the values over here. Okay, and you can easily find out what is the change of resistance, that is del R, that is again 48 milli ohm. So for both case it will be coming the same result, that is 48 mu m. Sorry, that is the micro ohm, and it is the milli ohm. That is 10 to the power minus 6 ohm, and that is 10 to the power minus 3 ohm. Okay, so just this is the larger one, and previous one, that is the smaller one. So this is the solution of this problem. Now coming to the summary at the end of the video. Now we know that we have discussed about strain gauge, which is a sensor whose resistance varies with applied force. Then it converts force, pressure, tension, weight, etc. into a change of electrical resistance which can be measured. 4 types of strain gauges are available: wire wood strain gauge, foil type strain gauge, semiconductor strain gauge, and capacitive strain gauge. In wire wood strain gauge, there is bonded wire strain gauge, where the bonded metallic type of strain gauge consists of a strain selective sensitive conductor mounted on a small piece of paper plastic backing. In this type of gauge, which is cemented to a surface of the structural member to be tested. Okay. Now there is the unbounded type of strain gauge, where the main principle of this gauge is based on the change in electrical resistance of a metallic wire due to the change of the tension of the wire. Then we have discussed about the foil type of strain gauge, where the metallic foil of 0.02 mm thick is produced using the print circuit technique, and the metallic foil is produced on the one side of plastic backing. And this foil type of strain gauge has a foil grid made of a strain-sensitive foil. Then there is the semiconductor or piezoresistive strain gauge, which is rectangular filament as a made of wafer from silicon or germanium crystal. Then there is the capacitive strain gauge. The main working principle is the change in capacitance, and the capacitance is directly proportional to the cross-sectional area. Lastly, we have discussed about the gauge factor, which actually is the relative change in electrical resistance R, which is the mechanical strain. Okay, del R by R divided by del L by L, which is also related to the Poisson's ratio, which is and strain factor. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. If you find any problem regarding this video, please write at the comment section. Please like my video, share if you can, and please subscribe my channel for getting more and more video. Thank you.